from the top. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding.
Right, to perceive the words of understanding, right? To perceive the words of understanding, man, because this is how we get our truth, knowledge, and understanding, right? Living this life. We're not going to get this truth, knowledge, and understanding, going to grade school and thinking that they got all the answers for us, man. Or just listening to our parents who don't even know everything themselves, man. I had a homie tell me this once, man. Talking about our parents, right? He had told me, hey, bro, it's your first time. It's your parents' first time being a parent too. So don't always try to get at them for making a mistake. Which I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand that, right? So with that understanding, with that knowledge, we gotta get our understanding elsewhere. Obviously our parents are gonna tell us what we need to hear, but at the end of the day, God gave us an instruction as a people, right? As an Israelite, right? As a colored man, etc., right? So with that being said, we gotta really search out the matter, man. We gotta search out the matter, right? Because this truth ain't the truth if we don't really search out the matter, man. We're not gonna understand this metaphor of a book or this parable of the book if we don't really search out the matter. Get that, King. Get that Proverbs 25, all right? Get that Proverbs 25 because we really gotta search out this matter, this truth, knowledge, and understanding. Right? To get the full grasp of how we should live this life.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 25, starting at verse 2. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing.
It's the glory of God to hide something, right? Why though?
God. But the honor of kings is to search out a matter.
But the honor of kings is to search out the matters of God. He hides knowledge, right? He hides the fact that there are Mayan slave ships. God hides the fact that black people are the real Jews, right? God hides the fact that our history is in the Bible, right? But it's an honor for a king to search out the matter. Hey, yo, brother, hey, do you see yourself as a king, man? Always. How are you a king, though, man? Like, how do you portray yourself as a king? Like the way you move, right? Right, you already know, man, and that's what the Bible's saying too. The Bible's saying you're a king, though. The only way you are a king is if you search out the matter, man. You search out your knowledge, you search out your history, you search out what you're looking for. That's how you become a king, right? Because a king is just not going to be like, oh, man, I don't know nothing. I got all these riches, man, but I don't know nothing, you feel me? Hey, did you know as a black man that your ancestors are off this book? Did you know that? Okay, man, so, hey, where does your family come from, do you know? From Africa, right? What part of Africa, man? All over, man? So, would you say that your ancestors came by slave ships to the Americas? For sure. Okay, for sure, man. Let's get there real quick, right? Because the Bible talks about that, man. Right. The Bible talks about that. But the reason why the Bible talks about that is because God said that He will curse us by bringing us from slave ships to the Americas, man. Right? Because we were disobeying His word, man. It's a judgment. God didn't just bring us into slave ships for nothing. That would make Him love the white man more than the black man. Because He didn't judge the white man like that. He didn't judge the Asian man like that. Right? But He judged us because we're His children. A father's not going to spank a stranger kid that's doing bad. He's going to spank his own child, man. Because we're God's children. Let's get that though.
Straight to the point. Right, straight to the point. Deuteronomy chapter 28, starting at verse 68. And I'll go to Exodus. So Deuteronomy chapter 28, starting at verse 68.
Right.
And it reads, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Right, so the word Egypt, right? We understand that Egypt's in Africa, right? But he's telling the children of God, like, hey, I'm going to bring you again to Egypt with ships. But these people of the Bible were from a landmass that was a walking distance from Egypt. So how are you going to bring somebody into Egypt with ships? That doesn't kind of make sense, right? He's pretty much telling a metaphor, right? Let's get that metaphor, though, real quick.
God, the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right, so the house of Egypt is pretty much essentially saying the house of bondage or like a captivity or a slavery, right? So let's go back into Deuteronomy 28 real quick and see what that slavery is talking about. Huh?
God. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Right, so we were sold unto bondmen and bondwomen going into Egypt. But that don't make sense because Egypt is in Africa, right? But like I said, Egypt really just means bondage or captivity, right? It's a metaphor, right? Because this whole book is full of metaphors, right? That's why we got to search out the matter. To be a king, we got to really search out what this book is really saying, huh? Bring it out, King. He's going to bring out the currency, right?
Why does the American dollar have Egyptian symbology on it? That was what he was talking about when he said, I'm bringing you. It basically said, I'm bringing you over to America. Thank you.
I don't know if you have so much time, man, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know that you're an Israelite, you're a Jew, brother. That you are the people of this book. Kanye was saying it, but he was getting backlash from it.
Almost got time to hear the scripture, bro.
You already know, King? Yeah. Okay, for sure, King. Yeah, no, but I just wanted to let you know that. Yeah, no. Hey, no. There's knowledge. There's knowledge. You all good, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate you listening and having the time we got. Likewise, man. Likewise. Hey, do your thing, man. Hey, be a king, man. Be a king. That's right. You know, like